Some of you lost your minds when I compared Jordan Peterson to Andrew Tate, and here's why I won't take it back. I received a note after that talk about young men, pain, and the influencers who package it. The note accused me of smugness, always that word, isn't it? The favorite epithet of the mildly wounded. It took particular offense at my placing Jordan Peterson in the same basket as Andrew Tate, as if I'd confused caviar with gravel. Apparently, I'd lost the watcher right there. Too harsh, he said. Too echo chamber. He even suggested I call out toxic femininity, which is rather like asking a surgeon working on a damaged lung to stop and check the wallpaper for cracks. But here's the grim joke. That response is the point. The instinct to defend the salesman rather than question the sale. It's exactly what I was talking about. And let's be clear, I'm not invoking Peterson as some abstract online phantom. I met him. Before the fame, before the emotional podcast tours, and the lobster-themed life coaching. He was a visiting professor from another faculty at U of T in a class I took at the University of Toronto. For many men, he's the thinking man's father figure, young in a YouTube thumbnail. His sermons on order and meaning are a kind of lullaby for the intellectually anxious, long, droning, and slightly hypnotic. He has perfected the art of sounding profound while saying remarkably little. It's a rare skill, like juggling fog. But peel back the polysyllables and you find the same stew of grievance and self-pity that powers every Tate, Fuentes, and crypto guru. The difference is merely aesthetic. Tate is all impact and volume. Peterson is chamomile tea with footnotes. His trick, and it is a trick, is to sedate insecurity with vocabulary. He makes the frightened feel philosophical. His voice trembles with borrowed gravitas, his hands steeple, his eyes mist with revelation, the televangelist choreography of sincerity. And what does he preach? That meaning lies in structure, that freedom is found in hierarchy. Clean your room, he intones as if tidiness were a theology unto itself. This sounds harmless, even sensible, until you hear the harmony beneath the melody, a quiet nostalgia for traditionalist roles. Tate shouts what Peterson whispers, that the world was better when men were leading and women were supportive. One is a brawler, the other a butler. Both serve the same house. And here's the pity of it, because pity, not rage, is what I feel. So many good, intelligent young men have been drawn in by the soft-lit rhetoric of victimhood. They mistake cadence for content and volume for vision. They hear Jung, Genesis, Nietzsche, all the fancy names, and assume meaning is in there somewhere, if only they could decode it. What they don't realize is that the code is the sales pitch. When I point this out to someone, inevitably they will say, "What about the problems on the other side?" As if feminism were a crime scene and empathy the weapon. The modern crisis of masculinity isn't caused by women talking too loudly. It's caused by men not listening at all, least of all to themselves. Peterson and Tate, those unlikely brothers in branded merch, have built their fortunes on the same human wreckage: loneliness. They convert isolation into ideology, pain into product. They don't love their followers. They need them. Need them agitated, need them devoted, need them online. Because empathy doesn't monetize and decency doesn't trend. And so we arrive at the tragic-comic core of it all. These mentors are less philosophers than influencers of discontent. They whisper to young men that the world has let them down and then sell them the cure, one podcast at a time. Now, I'll be told again that I lack nuance, but there's no nuance between sincerity and manipulation, between strength and cruelty. You don't need to choose between being masculine and being gentle. You only need to choose between being awake or being marketed to. Peterson's fans like to murmur that the world needs order. Fine, let's start with the order of truth. No man has ever become stronger by resenting women. No society has ever been restored by sulking over Disney movies. Young men deserve better than this curated toughness disguised as guidance. They deserve a courage that isn't cruelty, a discipline that isn't domination. If that's progressive ideology, then pour me a tall glass of it. Because the real crisis in men isn't softness, it's gullibility. Too many have mistaken confusion for conspiracy, and too few have had the courage to sit with their pain long enough to hear what it's actually saying. And that, dear friend, is what Dr. Jordan Peterson never will do.